Greetings from the Swiss Alps. Little clip about skiving. It's a bit of a headache for many leather workers. What is skiving? Skiving, that is, you thin down an edge to paper thin so you can fold it over, or you can connect two pieces without getting any extra thickness. Most people that I know that work leather, they just use a blunt edge, no skiving, no fold over, nothing. Kind of a rough cut construction. If you want to get into fine leather work, skiving is a must. So my magic formula for skiving is LST. T like Thomas, not D, okay? Don't... L like leather. You have some leathers that are kind of dry and cranky and really hard to work with, and some other leathers that are just smooth and they cut really nicely. So it's actually important that you choose the right leather to do some nice skivings. Some are happy to be skived, others are not. Oh, forget it. Okay, we're not going to start from the very source of raw material, and we already get some tanned leather, okay? If it's slightly greasy to the touch and stuff, very good. We're talking vegetable tanned, of course. Chrome tanned, it's a pain to skive. And then some of these leathers that carve really nicely, I don't want to name any brand though, carve really nicely, but you can feel the back, the structure of the fiber is kind of hard and cranky. Forget that stuff. Okay, S for surface. It has to be perfectly smooth because we want to be able to have a blade that slides along the surface and doesn't get stuck into a material that might be soft, and we don't want it scratchy. So flat polished rock or glass will do the job. T for tools. These Japanese knives that are actually into fashion. Bookbinders, classic bookbinders tools are based on the same principle. They're ground on one side and flat on the other, except that bookbinders prefer to have a slightly rounded off edge as opposed to the Japanese that have a really like square edge, square cut edge. Here, one of my favorite, that's actually a replica from a Roman blade from an archaeological context dating about 2,000 years back. And you can see the curve. It actually is just a section of a head knife. Head knives, wonderful to work with. And one thing they all have in common, they have to be really sharp. Hence the importance of stropping your blades every time before and after use to keep a sharp edge. We know what a strop is. Yeah, it's some polishing paste or jeweler's rouge, or some call it the white rouge and the green rouge and whatever. Keep your blades sharp, keep your surface clean, and choose the right leather. That's already a prerequisite to do some proper skiving. I really like slide a hairline away from the edge of the leather. This way skiving becomes very easy because my blade rests on the rock and just slides along. You got your knife 100% under control. It goes in a smooth cut. It's really nice and easy to skive. The next cut is I pay attention that the blade reaches out of the leather on both sides, and this way I can thin down my leather. Nice and smooth. Look at this. And if you're a good pro and had enough practice, you'll be able to skive your leather down paper thin. See, no slip out, nothing. I rest the blade on the rock. It's going to be the same if you use a quarter moon or if you use a bookbinder's skiving knife. Again, you'll slide along the edge and it works smoothly. So you can go like on one side and then the other side, etc. Little more tricky is when you go with a square blade, then really you just rest with this edge here on the leather and you skive through. Here, when you want to show off, it never works, right? Yeah. See, you really got this sharp little edge here. You just slide it along, and that should do the job just as fine. Another thing is important. See here, I got a very thin handle as opposed here a little bit bulky. This way I can lay my knife as flat as I can, as opposed to here that already a certain angle is imposed and I'm going to slide along. Yeah, same for this. Best for that is what shoemakers use. You know, they got their ordinary cutting blade, yeah, and usually they work on their on a lapstone, yeah, and then they'll do their skiving just like on the same principle, sliding along and just like skiving off. And always, because it rests on the rock, you're never gonna chew into the edge. You don't want to do that. One more tool, interesting, especially if you want to skive heavy leather. It's these little planes with a razor blade in it. And if you got some heavy leather, some thick leather, this is really nice to work with because you just can plane it off and you got a good control. The edge rests on the rock and there you really can do a nice skiving, even if it's a little bit of a cranky leather. That works out really fine. Forget these potato peeler gimmicky tools and stuff. I mean, apart from slicing a few fingers, I never managed to get a really nice slice of my leather.